today. We have a speaker from Illinois, Chicago, who belongs to 2 Toastmasters clubs in the US. To some, he is known as Joe, but to many, he is known as Hollywood Joe. Joe is a computer expert, an ultra trail runner, and an international inspirational speaker. Passion is his game. Hollywood Joe will be sharing his personal story in his exciting motivational speech. Please put your hands together for a warm welcome for Hollywood Joe as he shares with us how to win with passion.
Positive thinking is powerful, but you can't think your way to success. You have to burn your way there. Set yourself on fire with passion and pursue the things that make you feel alive. Now, along the way here, people ask, Hollywood Joe, what's with Hollywood Joe? Are you from Hollywood? No, I've never been to Hollywood, but that's just a nickname. So let me tell you the story about how I got the name. See, I became the announcements person at this event. You know, back in the old days when you actually met in person, it's hard to imagine right now. But anyways, I worked with the tech people. So I stand in the back of the room. I ask them to cue up Rocky, Eye of the Tiger. Don't. So I run up with my arms raised all the way up. I jump up on the stage. I turn around, give my announcements. One of the guys, when I take my seat afterwards, he's like, Hollywood. Hey, Hollywood. So that's how I became Hollywood Joe. So I wasn't always Mr. Passion, though. I wasn't always Mr. Set yourself on fire. No, I had my dark times too. See, I had this little problem last year. I was active physically. I was putting in quite a few miles training, but I had a sugar addiction and food addiction. I've already recovered from alcohol, so sugar was the next one. It was actually bringing me down. Even though I put all those miles, I was still 30 pounds overweight, and I still didn't feel good. So go to the recovery group and learn more about it, going through the 12 steps and working with my friends. And it was a struggle. I mean, sometimes I would come home and I just binge out on sugar. It was really miserable, terrible thing. You know, people don't think about alcohol being an addiction, but sugar is really bad. There's so many bad things about sugar for you. So along the way with that process, I met one of my runner friends, Angel. So she's my angel, who talked to me about that. And we learned more about the dangers of sugar and lowering my carbs. So with that process, I decided to lower carbs and quit sugar, just simply to lose 30 pounds and feel better. It was tough at first, but it's very doable. See, I didn't think you could break a sugar addiction. It's very possible. Matter of fact, I'm living proof of it now because I've been a full year no sugar, like as in got through Christmas, got through Halloween, Thanksgiving, the worst holidays of the year for me with sugar. But I'm off of sugar. I feel great. See, what happens with after all that, losing the weight was wonderful. It's what I didn't expect. It was the mental clarity, renewed energy, strength, and passion. Matter of fact, I've been speaking about passion so much, I've got a new nickname, Mr. Passion. One of my mentors that I love, the speaking mentors, said this phrase, and I love it. The best speeches are filled with passion and delivered with passion. So that brings me to the W and win with passion, why passion matters. You can see why it matters to me, but passion was a very simple definition. Passion can energize you. It'll give you the fuel for your success. Passion excites you, can give you a reason to get out of bed, and passion is definitely good for your health in many ways. So that's the W in win with passion, why passion matters. Now, along the way, after I started feeling good, got past the first few weeks of no sugar, coming to life, I spend a lot of times thinking. I love my weekend trail time to get alone. I started thinking, what do I want to do next? So I started doing some studying. Matter of fact, I found a lot of great resources and just studied it. Like, what do I want to do? What's, kind of broaden my definitions of passion. And it's simply, things that energize you and excite you. So I did that research and I did a passion test, or I call it a passion list. Basically, I simply got out my computer. I just typed out, thought about it, like what energizes me, what excites me, what do I want to do? Not whether I could do it or not. Because see, that was the challenge I had to get over. There's one thing I thought about that I really hesitated to put on the list. Matter of fact, I was afraid to tell people for a long time what that thing was. So when I made that list, I just had to forget the reasons I couldn't do it. I just had to forget about it write it down on the list anyways. So I did that, but the key was I set that aside one day and I pulled out a fresh piece of paper and I wrote down the list again. I wrote about 5 things the second time. Some were very common, but there were 3 things that were crystal clear, common passions. And that's when the light bulbs went off. There's a passion for public speaking and a passion for inspiring others. So when I talked about the thing I didn't want to talk about for a long time, I took those 2 passions, I married them together to make this big goal of being an inspirational speaker. Now, the third passion really wasn't a surprise because when I did that list, I got done doing a 20-mile training run over the weekend because they canceled all my trail races. But you know what? Trail running is still essential. So that's the I in Win with Passion, is identify your passions by making a list, and you want to do it twice to look for those common passions. Now, when you make your passion list, it's what gets you excited. What's energized? What do you want to pursue? It could be very simple. It could just be a hobby, a cause. One of the things I love, I've done this speech a number of times, is when somebody gives me some comments like, wow, I've made my list. I think of one person made their list, and I love the passion because it's talking about giving your personal stories. It's so important to tell your story. There's value in that. Other people's passions, I've got, I like fishing, I like gardening, whatever it is. The point is, it's what lights them up. I have a friend that one of her passions is conversations with a friend. Now that's great, but she got it more specifics, like conversations with a specific name of a friend. That's great. So it's a common, to the point where they talk every day. That's a passion. It could be a simple passion, whatever energizes you, excites you. So again, the I in Win with Passion is identify your passions by making a list. Now, a few years ago, some friends and I were in a part-time business. It was kind of a passion, a hobby type of thing. And one of the guys, Matt, everything he would say would always be followed by this: I'm excited. Are you excited? So we're all loaded up in the van, ready to go on this trip for the convention. First thing out of Matt's mouth, typical Matt style, like, hey, we're heading to the convention. I'm excited. Are you excited? We go down the road. Matt loves food, one of his passions. Again, is like, hey, it's dinner time. I'm excited. Are you excited? You get the idea. Everything, like all day long, all night long. All we heard from Matt was, I'm excited. Are you excited? So I got this idea. It was a long day of convention. I'm a night guy, so I get my second wind around 10 o'clock. He's tired out. He's tucked into bed. So I get this bright idea. So I jump up on Matt's bed. Like, hey, Matt, I'm excited. I'm excited, Matt. Woo, I'm excited. Jumping around, bouncing his bed. Just kind of give his own words. It's kind of fun. Now you're thinking, what the heck does this have to do with passion? I'll get into that. First of all, it's a fun story. But the point of the story is, since that time, Matt's changed careers. He's had lots of reasons to quit and give. It was tough. I know. As a friend, I've helped him out where I could. But see, he took his passion to fuel his success. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. His passion for his new business is what drove him to be successful. Now this year, as I rejoined Toastmasters, I've been doing a lot of speaking. I set this ambitious goal for myself. I did 90, it was called 90 Toastmasters meetings in 90 days, where I attended a meeting every day and spoke as many times as I could. I ended up with over 80 times that I gave a speech. This speech I gave in every state. That was part of the goal. As I changed the goal, I gave the speech in every state of the U.S., Washington, D.C., and parts of Canada. I'm still working my way through Canada. I want to do a speech in every province of Canada. Now, as you could think, 90 days of meetings, speaking that often is tough, but it's a passion. So it made it easy. It was hard physically, sure, but I never gave up because that's my passion. So that passion really fueled me. So that is the N in Win with Passion. Never give up on your passion. Don't quit. However, lean in. Listen carefully. Important point. If it no longer energizes you, if it no longer excites you, if it no longer inspires you, know that that's okay. Because you can redirect your passions and know that it's okay to change course, because you can redirect your passions and pursue the passions you love. So you can set yourself on fire with passion and pursue the things that make you feel alive. So that's the N in Win with Passion. Now hold on a minute. I've got somebody that wants to talk to you for a moment. Class, pay attention, class. We got a quiz tomorrow. As you can look in the background, W.I.N. We're going to review, what does W.I.N. stand for? W, why passion matters. It'll energize you and fuel your success. I, identify your passions by making a list. Make sure you do it twice. Look for those common passions. And N, never give up on your passions. Never quit. Now I'm going to bring Hollywood back out again. Goodbye.